This is breaking news from the Las Vegas Review-Journal, sponsored by Michael Gaughan's South Point Hotel, Casino, and Spa.
Hello everyone, I'm Cassie Soto with the Las Vegas Review-Journal. We have an update on our top story today. Las Vegas police say Raiders wide receiver Henry Ruggs III was involved in a fatal car crash this morning. The 22-year-old Ruggs will be charged with DUI resulting in death. According to police, it happened about 3:39 this morning. That's when the front of a Chevy Corvette collided with the rear of a Toyota RAV4 on South Rainbow Boulevard and South Spring Valley Parkway between Flamingo and Tropicana. According to police, the Toyota caught on fire. Fire department personnel found a deceased victim inside the Toyota. Police say Ruggs stayed on the scene and showed signs of impairment. He was taken to University Medical Center, we're seeing video of that now, for injuries that are not considered life-threatening. We have also learned that Ruggs had a female passenger in the car. She is also at UMC with non-life-threatening injuries. The Raiders have also released a statement this afternoon, quote, saying the Raiders are aware of an accident involving Henry Ruggs III that occurred this morning in Las Vegas. We are devastated by the loss of life, and our thoughts and prayers go out to the victim's family. We're in the process of gathering information and will not have any further comment at this time. Review-Journal's Raiders beat writer Vinnie Bonsignore joins the show now. Vinnie, this is obviously some heavy news for the Raiders coming off of the bye week. What else do we know about this situation so far?
That it's a somber day without questioning. There's no real preparing for mornings like today, and on all levels, it's just truly sickening. And our hearts go out, obviously, to the victims of this. Henry Ruggs is a 22-year-old kid who obviously looks like he made a very, very bad decision, and it had severe, severe consequences. There's a lot to sort of unpack here. The Raiders have a game on Sunday. They've got to prepare for a game without Henry Ruggs and the season without Henry Ruggs now. So there's that level, even though you don't like to even think about those terms. Henry Ruggs now faces some serious legal issue, to say the least. Where his career goes from here is anybody's guess. So it's just been a really horrific morning on a lot of different levels.
Yeah, Vinnie, you have covered this league for a very long time, and as you say, we don't really know what happens now, but in your time, and unfortunately, I'm sure dealing with situations like this, what does happen to players after an incident like this?
Well, it's going to be in the the ball is in the courts side of the court now, so to speak. The NFL will monitor that, but once some charges get filed, official charges get filed. There's means by which all of this can get sorted out legally while Henry goes on to the commissioner's exempt list. That's usually the case in these types of situations. But there's as of right now, he's got so much more bigger worries and concerns than the football side of things. That'll all get sorted out the way they normally get sorted out. But you can expect a long process for Henry Ruggs, and when he ever sees the field again, if he ever does, remains to be seen.
Well, we remember how the Raiders handled the John Gruden situation. It wasn't that long ago, Vinnie, when the head coach resigned after emails were uncovered, controversial emails were uncovered. What do we expect the team to do next? Do we think they will hold a press conference? They obviously sent out that statement, but what is the next move for the Raiders? As you say, they still have a game on Sunday, so they have a bigger issue to handle as a unit themselves.
Yeah, no question about it. And from a, what do they do with Henry Ruggs type of if you're asking that question or wondering about that, understand players have a players union, and everything that happens, even in a situation like this, is all predicated on whatever agreement is in place, or the agreement that's in place between owners and the Players Association and the Players Union. As opposed to John Gruden, there's no coverage for coaches. There's no coaches union. So, to the extent that the Raiders handled that was a private decision that they can make based on what they felt was the right thing to do. And there was no union involved. There's no rules or regulations involved. It was just literally employee-employer type of a situation. This is entirely different. It'll have to not only go through the courts, and we'll see where all that goes. Obviously, his lawyer, Henry Ruggs' lawyer, said that they're conducting their own private investigation. They caution people to reserve judgment until all the facts truly come out, and that's definitely sound advice. But while all of that's taking place, the NFL and the Raiders are very confined in what they're able to do. And it's all predicated, again, on the agreements that are in place between owners and the players union. So I wouldn't expect any disciplinary action from the Raiders or the NFL, or any suspensions or any just get out of the league, any of that type of thing, until everything's settled on the court's end of it.
Vinny, well, let's see what some of the members of the Raiders are saying on social media. A lot of them obviously finding out as the media is finding out. Raiders cornerback Keyshawn Nixon went ahead and tweeted out this picture right here, just sad eyes. I think you said before this, Keyshawn Nixon and Henry Ruggs are close friends.
Yeah, no doubt about it. They're very close. And so, that's a big blow. If you're a teammate of Henry Ruggs and a friend of Henry Ruggs, a family member of Henry Ruggs, this is a devastating morning. And you can't also forget about the victims, obviously. That's the biggest concern here. And to put it all in kind of perspective, I was texting with some players this morning, and one of them had just gotten out of his weight room workout this morning, hadn't heard anything about it. And so, when I kind of let him know what was going on, you could only imagine what his reaction was. And I can't share it, but he was devastated, and let it be known. So, there's like I said, there's so many different levels to this, and how do the Raiders process it? You hate to be cold and calculating about things, but as you mentioned, Cassie, there is a football game to be played. The Raiders have, legitimate aspirations to make the playoffs. They've already dealt with one, controversy with John Gruden. Now this happens coming out of their bye week, which, by the way, they took the full week off. They didn't practice yesterday on Monday, at least that, we were aware of. So they're not getting back to work until tomorrow, which would be Wednesday. And so it's going to be quite the scene, unfortunately, for them, and another situation that they're going to have to deal with in a hurry as they get back on the field Sunday against the New York Giants, and what is a big game for them. And again, you hate to talk about or think about football at moments like this, but they have to.
Vinny, my final question for you, and I hate to obviously bring up old news, but when Josh Jacobs got into his car accident, I believe it was last January, past January, I spoke to you and you said that the most difficult time for coaches and organizations is the off season and the bye week, because these players go home, they're sort of out of the control of the team, and they're trusted to make smart decisions. Sometimes those decisions aren't very smart, as we've seen today.
No, you're absolutely right, and you're left sometimes shaking your head, scratching your head, because there's so many resources available to all of us, really. If we're, have a couple of extra drinks and don't feel good about getting behind a wheel, you could call Uber. Henry Ruggs is making a lot of money. Calling a private driver, is obviously an option. So there's ample resources, especially in a city that runs 24/7 like Las Vegas does, to be able to get home safely. And it wasn't just him; he had a passenger in the car with him. And then obviously you're putting that person in danger if it's true about the DUI and driving while impaired, and obviously that all has to get sorted out as well. But people say many times things that happen in the middle of the night, and this was around 3 a.m. this morning. It's usually not good. It's and there's nothing that you can say. He's a 22-year-old kid who obviously made a horrible decision, and this is something that, unfortunately, he's going to be paying for the rest of his life.
Yeah. All right, Vinny. Well, thank you so much for joining us. Obviously, this is a developing story, and we will have more information for you online at lvrj.com, and we will have an update on all of the day's events for you this evening at 7 p.m. Remember, you can also download our free RJ mobile app to get news alerts sent directly to your phone. You can find us on Roku, Apple TV, YouTube, and all of your favorite platforms. For Vinnie Bonsignore, I'm Cassie Soto. Thank you so much for joining us.
You've been watching Breaking News from the Las Vegas Review-Journal, sponsored by Michael Gaughan's South Point Hotel, Casino, and Spa.